Hello and welcome to Have You Been Here, the show that brings you to various locations around the North Shore and Greater Boston for some exciting and fun day trips. And now we'll bring you to this month's show.
Hello everyone, I'm Rita Musera at Melrose TV, and today we are going to visit Castle Island in Boston. Castle Island is heaven, and one of the stars is Sullivan, better known as the best restaurant around the Boston Harbor. Is it right, Avery?
Thank you very much, Rita. That was very kind of you.
And a place where you enjoy delectable foods, fun, and most of all, the most enchanting view of the Boston Harbor. Here with me is Harry Markarian, who will tell you all about Sullivan, one of the best spots to eat.
Thank you, Rita. I want to welcome everyone and thank you for this opportunity to bring Sullivan's to the North Shore. Sullivan's is in South Boston and accessible from either 93 South via South Station down Summer Street past the Convention Center all the way to L Street. And follow L Street to the water, and that'll get you to Castle Island. On Castle Island is Fort Independence and the Sullivan's Restaurant. Sullivan's has been there since 1951, and since 51 we're into the third generation. There was the grandfather, Mr. Dan Sullivan Sr., then went to Dan Sullivan Jr., and now Dan's son, Brendan Sullivan, is now the new owner.
This is the second Sullivan. Is it one before this?
This is the third building.
Oh, third.
This is the third building. The first building was built in 1951. It was a steel building, and that was against the water. Our second building was a stone building, and that was built where we presently have little tables, outside table area, and now we're into the third building that was built in the 90s.
And when was the accessible to cars and all that?
Basically all the way going back to the 50s.
Oh, that far.
Unfortunately, at each time that we were moved in the building, they cut back on the parking. Presently, there's probably about 225 parking spaces.
Tell us all about your food. I know you've extended your menus besides the ubiquitous hot dog.
Our hot dogs are to die for. They're KM hot dogs. They're beef and pork hot dogs. Our special at the start of the year and at the end of the year, we're now at the end of the year in November, we have 80-cent hot dogs. They're half price. And our lobster rolls are also to die for at $9.95. We have a combination of lobster rolls with our full seafood menu. All of our fish is fresh haddock. We have hand-breaded onion rings, and also with the lobster roll, we have a baked fish haddock or fried fish haddock.
So how long has it been there?
We're into our 62nd year. Once again, opened in 1951. I started in 1970 in March. My mother filled out my application because my penmanship wasn't the greatest. So my application is still on file, and it's probably one of the best handwritten applications available.
Oh, that's wonderful. Any plans for, it's a takeout, right?
It's primarily a takeout restaurant. We have, we try to meal ourselves to any of the handicapped people that come in, as well as any of the people from the special needs schools, so that we try to take care of them the best we can. So if we see someone in a wheelchair, we'll leave the counter, we'll go out to them, try to make sure that they're taken care of. Then when their order comes out, we'll hand deliver it to them to try to take care of them.
Okay. Any plans for a dining in restaurant?
I've got a couple of ideas in mind. One of the things that I've been authorized to do is to look at expansion and future changes. And again, we're looking at a couple of different areas, but again, on the DCR property, we have to get permission as well as we have to get approvals for the different things that we'd like to do. We also do have bathrooms on the island, both male, female, and handicap accessible.
And tell us about your timing and hours for the winter.
Sullivan's is open from 8:30 in the morning till sunset. Sunset being anywhere from 10 o'clock in the summertime till presently now sunset is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it opens?
It opens on March the 1st, and this year we're closing on December the 1st, which is the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
So
and we'll be back on March the 1st. So For those people that want to come and visit us, they look at us as a fresh eye when spring is coming, so March 1st we'll be back.
So March 1st. So when you visit Sullivan in the spring, you just wish that it were open all year round.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Rita,
That
and I
was
appreciate all the
And
opportunity.
I'll see you again soon.
I hope so.
Your food is just delicious.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, we're still at Castle Island. We just cannot leave. And with me is Bill
Spain.
who is at the helm of the Fort Independence. I'm sure all of you have heard of Fort Independence, a wonderful fortress overseeing the Boston Harbor, which has seen many wars and still stands there beautifully there. And Bill, tell us all about the wars and the heroic things that have happened there.
Well,
you know everything about it.
Well, not everything. We'd like to think you do, but we
First
don't.
of all, it has changed names many times.
Well, it's changed a few times. It was Castle William III, and then when we only had one president visit the island in all those years, almost 380 years, and he changed the name from Castle Island to Fort Independence of 1799.
Oh,
The only president to visit John Adams.
I know all those. I know you will know all the dates.
Well, basically, yeah, but like August, but we couldn't find any paperwork on it. But when the speech that John Adams did, but he was the only president. But what made him also kind of famous that when he had the Boston Massacre, he was the one that defended the British soldiers.
Oh.
They were kept out to Castle Island, at Castle William at the time, and to stand trial, and he got them off with just a D on their thumb.
Oh.
And so they could have been hung, shot, but
So they
were
brought
very
them
lucky.
over to the Fort Independence.
Yes, it
And
was-
what was the name of it then?
Castle William.
Castle. Now, what does the name Castle stand for? Is that
It's basically, it's because there was such a high plateau. It's been cut down every time they build a fort. This is the 8th fort that you see now when you go out there.
so many forts were probably named castles?
Well, the castle, they would say
Was a
fort,
castle
yeah, the
before it
fort
was
out
a
the
fort.
castle, right?
So the Fort Independence was a refuge as well as prison.
Yeah, well, it was a prison at one time, and also people that didn't pay their bills, like when they say if a husband died, and their big bills would be there, and it would be the wife would have to go out there and do some work out there.
And it must be wonderful in the summer with the Boston lights.
Rita, between you and I, it's wonderful year round.
Oh. Said like a true owner.
Well, basically, when you look at the granite, you would think it comes from Quincy, but it comes from Rockport, Mass.
Oh, I see. And how far is it from Boston?
It's about a half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
And one of the commandants after the British evacuated Boston was Paul Revere.
Oh.
And also we had one fellow by name in 1827, Edgar Perry. Otherwise, you know him as Edgar Allan Poe was stationed there.
Oh, wow.
And when they had the Boston Tea Party, this is they threw the 342 boxes of tea into the water. This is
Oh,
where
they do. Oh.
and also this is where the Stamp Act, when they had the stamp, this is where they kept the stamps, but they never got to Boston, but that's where they were kept.
And it's accessible to handicapped people. I know you have a wonderful golf cart.
Well, it is, it's very nice. It's basically on the lower walk is no problem. The upper walk is very difficult because it's all stones,
Oh.
crushed stones, so it's very difficult to go up there on the top.
Now, how does one know about Fort Independence if as advertising on coming to visit?
I would think, well, it's basically taken care of by the DCR. The DCR does the maintenance, and the Castle Island Association does all the equipment that's inside there. Like, we have like 14 cannons in there.
And of course, I'm sure you have a website.
There is a website,
Okay.
but if they need a number to call, it's always 617-268-8870. And basically, the next time we'll be open is Easter Sunrise Service.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that.
Well, basically, we don't really advertise it, but we guarantee that when they come out there for the sunrise, might be like around 5:30 or so. It'll
In
be
the morning,
in
that
in AM. Sunrise service always comes in the morning.
We just want to emphasize.
That's it, absolutely, and we'll get over 1,000 people.
Oh, my.
And then after they have the mass, they come inside the fort and we'll have some kind of juice, coffee, pastry, and stuff like that for all those people that brave heart and And for the kids, we have a special treat. We won't say what it is. They'll find out themselves when they come.
Now, I was able to see a wonderful review of the Halloween costumes and different
You saw in the
themes.
beginning we had close to
It was
9,000.
wonderful.
Thank you.
How was the party? It was great.
Yeah, it was nice. We had about close to 9,000 kids could show up there.
And is that a yearly tradition?
It's at the 31st year. We just finished our 31st year. It falls on the 4th weekend in October, Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 4.
Well, thank you very much,
Oh,
Bill.
you're welcome,
And I
Rita.
can't wait to return.
I can't
and
wait to
see
have
the
you.
rest
We'll
of
be
the-
there waiting for you.
Just taking some pictures. Oh, go ahead.
Sure?
Yeah, maybe get the old lion sides.
Bluefish, I think.
Well,
See you later, Bobby.
Red Radar is that's Logan Airport, but that's also Governor's Island. So they took it over in 1948 to make the expansion of Logan Airport. Logan Airport is celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. And this is the Donald McKay Monument. Basically built the Flying Cloud, plus about 100 ships. And you can see all the cannons up on top, where the shutters are. And that's Sunny. You want to talk now?
Yeah?
Okay. Basically, we have over here a Spectacle Island. It's the highest island in the harbor. They raised it 65 feet, the dirt from the Ted Williams Tunnel. And it used to be a dump, but they used to take your garbage out there and horse rendering plants years ago. And now it's a nice walkable island. You can walk around there. It's about the third largest island in the harbor. Behind that is the biggest island in the harbor. That's Long Island, where the red and white tower is. To the left of that, you see Long Island Light. Then you go out here, right after the first island, out of Brewster's, you can see Boston Light, the first lighthouse in the country. And every 10 seconds, the light comes on, and it's also the last manned lighthouse in the country. And over in Brewster's over here, then you got Deer Island over here with the digesters. And then over here you got Winthrop, the red and white tower. And then you go over here with the red and white, where you see that radar turning, the red radar. That's Logan Airport. That was also Governor's Island until 1948. And Logan Airport is now celebrating their 90th anniversary. When they first started, it was dedicated by President Calvin Coolidge, 1923.
Castle's you answering.
Okay.
You can copy that, Bob? Which all of the local Boston stations, 4, 5, and 7, and Fox
32 acres?
will actually come to the island, and they'll do pretty much all of their filming for the Constitution, which will be on Tuesday.
Tuesday, what date?
And people walk there every day. You see them walking.
And this is the fish pier where everybody does their fishing.
All right, pretty good. Hang on there. No, Bob Casson called me, and I thought that was his number.
This is a Korean War memorial that was dedicated to South Boston fellows that got killed in Korea. There's roughly around 20 names on there. And they will always be remembered. And every year around August they have a dedication, and they have a little ceremony going out right here on the island. So this is all the fellows that didn't make it back from Korea, back to the Forgotten War.
When was this built?
This was built around 1991, 1992.
It stays open?
It's open for the doing maintenance, so the tours are from Memorial Day to Columbus Day. And then the last one, the Columbus Day is past, but now we're getting it ready for Halloween. And that'll be the last weekend in October, which is the 26th and 27th of this year.
And you're doing tours?
Not during the year we do. From there, basically every weekend from 12. The last tour goes at 3:30. And we also have it open on Thursday, June, July, and August from 7 o'clock until sunset. We can walk around up on top and see the city and appreciate
And what do
it.
the tours consist of? Before?
Yes, basically the fort. Basically on a Thursday night, though, on twilight skylight viewing, you just walk around and look at the beautiful city and the ambience. It's very nice. And we have volunteers there to ask any kind of questions like, is this an ocean or is this a lake? Surprisingly, a lot of people from the Midwest think it's a lake. Yes, from the Midwest. So they enjoy it. So they enjoyed it just coming around and it's enjoyable, a nice summer evening to come out and get a nice cool breeze. It is.
And get a history lesson.
They get a history lesson too if they so desire. Well, this island right here is Thompson's Island. Thompson was trading with the Indians in 1627, 3 years before Boston was discovered. And then you would go swing it to the right, you see that white building there, that's basically the Quincy Bay Marina. And a fellow that you would know that lived there, number 12 for the Patriots when he was single, Tom Brady. That's where Tom was there, you find that. And behind that is the Blue Hills. So, 1898, the end of the Spanish-American War, they were unloading mines when something moved, probably the boat moved, and an explosion here, and 6 soldiers were killed, plus a few horses, and a couple of buildings. And the buildings were rattling back in South Boston, and a lot of people were putting claims in because they lost a lot of their dishes.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? All right, I did my time this week, right? Already?
This sailing boat program is available to all inner city kids or South Shore, and they have the ability to go sailing and learn how to sail. Okay, Don?
That's Quincy down here. Right over here you got Quincy, just the town of Quincy, that's Quincy Bay Marina, where you see those white buildings. Behind that, where you see the antenna, that would be Milton. And then behind that is the Blue Hills. You got the gas tank over here, the largest outdoor painting in the world. And to the left of that, you got some red and white, or black and white building. That's the John Fitzgerald Kennedy Library. And the red brick building, that's the University of Massachusetts. We're basically on what's called Head Island. And basically when you looked over where you see the other islands, that's 34 islands out there. Most of them you can visit. And if you call up to go out to Thompson's Island, it's like going, you think you were up in Maine. It's so beautiful. The only thing that gives it away is when you see the planes fly over. You get pheasants on the walkways and everything else like that. It's very nice, very pleasant, good place to visit. And basically we got the lagoon right behind us. If you walk around this whole thing, this whole site, it's a 1.1 miles around. And you can see the cruise ships right over here that come in. They're basically repositioning. Some of them are doing up to the coast of New England, and a lot of them are going from here down to the Caribbean. And going down for the weather is nice and warm. The tall building over there is the Prudential building, 52 stories. To the right of that is the John Hancock, which is 62 stories. You know, and keep on going over to the right, the Edison plant, which is now closed. And then the big building there looked like a Washington board is the Federal Reserve Bank. That's South Station, to give an idea. And the one to the left of that is Dewey Square. And the rest of it is downtown Boston. And if you look over here, you can see 3 cruise ships in here. Okay, you can walk around here, the whole thing is 1.1 miles. If you just walk around the lagoon, the deepest part is 50 feet. Down there, okay, I'll be right there. They're getting ready to leave, the volunteers. Give me a minute. This is the common room, so this is basically not the room we have another room to get ready. This is blue lights up here. I don't know where the lights are from, so we just. And some people from Weight Watchers right here, I think is where they hang out.
And just follow
Just come in this way.
us around.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Just watch out for the walls.
Go wait, Sasha.
Dawn, like right over here, you can see their faces.
Watch yourself.
And they start working it.
I see.
This is a Warden, Mary Gordon.
And the soldiers get packed away.
It gets all packed away, it's all put
Oh my
away.
goodness,
So they only have 2 days for this event.
yeah.
I do have some seniors coming like on the 26th and 27th. I have seniors coming on the 24th
Oh,
and the 25th from assisted living, and they're gonna come up here. It's like a nice casual thing rather than the 10,000 coming in, so just,
nice.
they have their own little thing here. By that time, I should have some more volunteers here to show me where the lights are. But this is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is a cannon. And it is
Oh,
utilized.
it is, look at that.
And it is utilized.
Oh, it's Dawn, you should get that.
Yeah.
And you should talk to them, say it on the mic.
This is for the small kids, the wee folks they call them.
Uh-huh.
They come in this door here, so that way they avoid the pirates and all they want, the devil room,
Oh, yeah.
the coffin room.
I can see it, I can see it.
I haven't seen it.
Does the whole fort get turned?
Because the cannons on all sides of the fort are pretty much accessible to the Boston Harbor area.
Picture, why is it there?
It's basically because they've done 5 rooms here in the fort, and they should be honored just for the sake of all the hard work they do to put this together. And now they basically pass it on to their sons and daughters. That's the.
What she meant is we're to do sort of a little goodbye speech kind of thing, you know?
Okay, all right.
You'll say, you know, thank you, Bill, for that kind of thing. If you don't mind, just take a minute and do that.
You want to do that in here?
Want to do that in here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Let's do it outside.
No, let's do it
Let's
outside.
do it outside, for the sake of,
Yeah, it's nice.
Like I said, we're in like non-political. It took us almost 5 years to talk to Bill to get this wrought iron done. I believe this stuff was wrought iron. We used to have do not enter signs. It was very dangerous. Yeah, we probably have to do the ending right here.
Well, I did. I don't. You got a table, you want a table? You want to just go grab the table?
Okay.
Enjoying their culinary goodies, and thank you so much, Harry, for being so generous in this wonderful lunch with every choice we have. And thank you so much, Bill, for showing us the fort and having a wonderful historical lesson. So history and great food, how can you miss a Castle Hill? Thank you so much. You come, everyone.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Thank you very much.